My name is Mickey Davis, and in 3 words, outreach for the grant. And yeah, the process of the grant being open has been exciting and exceeding expectations. So I'll pass it to Adonai.
Adonai, you're on mute.
Yo soy Adonai y creo que al igual que Mickey,
I'm Adonai, and the outreach has been very exciting for me, like Mickey said.
All right, Amanda, you want to go next?
Sure thing. My name is Amanda Laban, and Senior Programs Manager, the Department of Ag. Yeah, I've been a proxy, I think, to most of the outreach, but I'm going to go visit a store this afternoon or this evening. So that will be fun. Sorry, not 3 words.
Oh, good. Okay, should we turn it over to Lauren and anyone on your team?
Hey everyone, my name is Lauren. I work for the Good Food Collective in Southwest Colorado. My 3 words are hype, excitement, and uncertainty. And I'll pass it off to Susan.
I'm Susan, and I work with Lauren in Uray and San Miguel County, and I would have to say this launch has been a learning experience. Yeah, it's been great.
Okay, Allie, would you like to go next, and then the rest of your team?
Yeah, my name is Hallie. My pronouns are she, her. I'm the director for the Jefferson County Food Policy Council. And my 3 words for outreach are good first steps. I will pass it to Angelique.
Hi, everyone. My name is Angelique Prazer-Tong, and my pronouns are she, her, and I am on the Community Advisory Board of the Jeffco Food Policy Council. And I guess my 3 words are connecting with you. It's been cool to see all the activities going on around the state. Oh, and I will pass it on to Eileen.
Hi, everyone. I'm Eileen O'Rourke, and I'm a co-founder of a new nonprofit, the Ag and Food Lab. And maybe my 3 words are that, wow, good job, because I haven't been doing a lot of outreach, but I've been getting a lot of inquiries from at least 5 different producers. So, and lots of complicated questions as I'm learning. So why I'm here and appreciative of this training time.
I can go next. I'm Whitney Leeds. I use she, her pronouns. I'm with Growing Home, and my 3 words are not yet started.
Hi there. My name is Marion Murphy. Yes, I've done outreach already. Oops, I'm muted. Sorry, I'm muted. And I'm trying to operate my sound. I have a problem with my sound, and I can hear an echo. So
It was actually, I could hear you before you unmuted, and it sounded a little better then. So I don't know.
I don't know. My laptop speakers are having a problem. And I've logged on my phone just so I can hear it. But let me just tell you really quickly so that I don't do this, twice. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, Marion,
okay.
I just muted your computer, but we're hearing you through the phone. So
okay, perfect. Then I can hear you through the phone. And my video is all messed up. It's a bad day for IT, but I've already started the outreach. I have 2 confirmed producers who are going to apply, and 2 that I just reached out to that have 3 actually that have some trying to get their questions together. And one of them I'm going to pose today. And what I haven't started is the retail locations, although two of the farmers who are applying do have a retail right part of their farm. That's it. I'm loving it. It's so much fun.
Should we pass it to Esther?
Hola, mi nombre es Esther Caldera y soy de Latinas Community Connection.
Hi, I'm from Latinas Community Collection. My name is Esther Caldera. I'm excited. I'm going to be well informed and trained to be able to do this because I haven't started yet. Thank you. And I'll pass it to Lucy.
Lucy, soy parte de Latinas
Good
Community
afternoon.
Connection.
I'm part of Latinas Community Connection. Like my colleague, I'm also excited. My name is Lucy, and I don't see who else is here, but if you can pass it to somebody else, please.
Moody. Do you want to go next?
Oh, sorry. Okay,
Yes.
Allie.
Hi, my name is Moody. I am with Kaizen Food Rescue. I am a community navigator. I have not started yet, but my 3 words are hopeful, inspired, and I am accepted. And whoever wants to go next.
I'll say, Erica, do you want to go next? Because I know Lasse said that they are driving, so I'm not sure if they can talk or not.
Sure. Erica, she, her, a food security network of Boulder, Broomfield County. I'm gonna say beautiful chaos.
Great. And then the last person from the metro area, I think, is Lasse. Lasse, are you able to talk?
Hi, yes. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I am driving. My name is Lasewa. I am interning with Kaizen Food Rescues, and I will say my 3 word will be nervous, learning, and I'm ready. I guess ready to start the outreach. Yes, thank you.
Thanks for those introductions, everybody, and those words. That really helps me get a sense of how you all are feeling about this. And yeah, hopefully we can. I want to just say that for those with questions or confused or feeling chaotic about this, please don't hesitate to send questions our way. And I also wanted to let you all know that since our last meeting and since the information session, we have put a Q&A document on our website under that. We've got a bunch of boxes for FAQs. I'm going to share my screen to show you. So are you guys able to see this now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So there's so much content on our website, but we've got the recordings of the information sessions. So if you're just getting started with this work, that's a great hour listen. We've got it in English as well as Spanish. And then we took questions that came from those information sessions and also questions that are coming into us through email, and we put them in this document here. So the Spanish translation is pending, but for English speakers, if you want to take a look at that now, we've got a lot of good information there, and hopefully our group can kind of work together, not have to reinvent the wheel for each tough question that comes in. There might be some good questions and answers that you can look up on that document, as well as in this frequently asked question section on the website. So, yeah, I thought we could kind of pick up where we left off, which was with the priority proposals. We went through a lot of eligibility and kind of background for the program, but I want to stress to you how the evaluation committee will be selecting the awardees. So we're going to go through that today. And I also thought it might be nice to look at some of the questions in the application. I'm not sure if folks have gotten to that point yet in your assistance with some of these eligible businesses, but we can do that together.
Hey, Mickey.
Yeah.
So everyone's hearing an echo on your end. So I'm wondering maybe if we quickly switch computers, if that would help. Is anyone hearing an echo from my end?
Okay. All right. You want to just do musical chairs?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay. Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thanks, Marianne.
And the echo is gone. I thought it might be me. So that's good.
Okay, well, I'm glad we are sorting that out. Okay, cool. Well, Amanda, if you're able to share, actually, yeah, if you're able to stop sharing that screen and I'll get this up on here. Okay. Yeah, there is definitely an echo on that computer. Amanda, I didn't realize you used Bing.
I think that's automatic on the computer. I don't use it. It just pops up.
Okay.
I'm old, but not that old.
Amanda, do you mind sharing the English version of the grant guidelines?
Yep. Just a second.
On my other screen. Awesome, thank you. And if you want to put it in slideshow mode, that might be a little bit easier to see. So, yeah, it's over in the, yeah, there you go. So, I'm also going to drop the links here to, yeah, Amanda, if you want to just leave it on the page that it was on, that would be great. So it's the priority proposals. And I've dropped the link to the Spanish version of the Community Food Access Grant Guidelines in the chat, so folks listening in Spanish can follow along here. But yeah, we wanted to touch on how the panel is going to review the applications that come in. So first and foremost, every reviewer, every applicant needs to be eligible. This isn't something we have any say in the matter about. So the first thing that will happen is all the grant proposals will be checked to see if they meet all of the eligibility requirements. So that's number one. And then number two is the main metric on which these applications will be scored is the extent to which that proposal is significantly and directly increasing access to healthy food. So whether that is the capacity for a small food retailer to offer healthy food, in a low income, low access community, or for a small farm to distribute healthy food to be sold in a low income, low access community. So that's another part of the, you know, if the proposal isn't focused on that at all, then unfortunately it's not really going to pass that first step of is this a proposal that aligns with this grant program? The committee will also be looking at the likelihood of success of a proposal. So if the request seems to be kind of a pie in the sky, you know, a little bit unreasonable, that's something that's going to be scored as well. And then, you know, across all of the rounds of this grant, the ultimate geographic distribution is going to be assessed, and we are required from a legislative standpoint to award at least 30% of the total funded amount for businesses in a rural area. And we're using a USDA's definition of rural. So Amanda, do you mind going to the next slide?
Is that good? And is everyone seeing the slide still?
I'm seeing just the same slide we were looking at.
I see a new one.
Oh. That's very weird. I'm not seeing.
Does everyone else see the new one?
I see the new one.
Yes, I see the new one.
I'm just
go back and forth. Does that change anything?
Okay, now I see a new one.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thanks, everybody, for bearing with these puzzling tech issues. Okay, but I want to focus in on, you know, the last slide was, you know, what's the bare minimum to be scored, and then of those proposals meeting that bare minimum, what's a priority? So proposals will be, you know, a priority proposal if they have the capacity to reach the greatest number of low-income Colorado residents, or in a rural area, the greatest proportion of a low-income, low-access community. Eileen, do you have a question?
Hang on. Yeah, I think you just answered it. So
Okay.
I was wondering the scenario of being in a rural area and how to factor in the, you know, the number of low income. So it's the proportion.
Yeah.
Within. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Yeah. You know, trying to get at some sense of of impact, a quantity impact, right? If there's a proposal that looks like it'll reach a few folks that are low income, low access, that's great. But you know, if another proposal seems like it has the capacity to reach a greater proportion of that population, yeah, that's how we'll assess that. Marion, would you like to jump in with a question?
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
My question is, do you have a map of where there is the highest concentration of low income, or do you have any information about that? So that we don't, because, you know, I live in Boulder, there's definitely low income, but it's hard to figure out where they all are. Whereas Longmont or Nederland, which is places I am also contacting, Nederland definitely has, you know, food access issues.
So Marion, we did cover that in our initial training, and I can resend you the or yeah, Hallie, if you'd like to send Marion that recording. But yeah, we've got maps on our website of what qualifies as an eligible low income, low access area. And then on there, it shows a breakdown. You know, if you hover over a census tract, it'll show you know, percentage above the area median income. other stats like that. So that can be used to assess the need in an area.
Thank you. I must have missed that because I did attend the first session, but
Well, no worries. Do we have another
Thank
hand
you.
raised? Yeah, thank you. I'm not seeing it.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I have a question. Can you, Mickey, give an example of how someone might make this argument in their application, and specifically under what question it would be appropriate for someone to make this case?
We will go through that with those application questions. How about that, Lauren?
Okay, perfect.
Cool.
Thank you.
So, it's a tough projection to make, though. And there have been a lot of iterations of how this program is framed in a federal compliance perspective. And one of the ways that this program wanted to originally kind of classify these store owners is that they are the sub-recipients, and the actual beneficiaries are the customers coming to their store, or the folks living on a low income that will benefit, which is how we want to think about awarding these proposals. But it was deemed unrealistic for a store owner to be able to do the required reporting on the impact their purchase is making. So yeah, you've kind of touched on a sort of a contradiction, I guess, in our program design. But yeah, we're going to be looking for some sense of what kind of impact is this going to make in your community. So another set of priority criteria, and this is not required, but we will be, and I say we meaning the evaluation committee, which I personally am not on, but the evaluation committee will be weighting heavily proposals that will substantially reduce the price of healthy food for low-income Colorado residents. So lowering food prices is not required, but if there is a proposal that is promising to substantially reduce a price, that's going to be looked on with a lot of favor in the scoring process. Another priority criteria will be proposals that have the ability to create a lasting impact beyond the period of funding. So, this kind of relates to our questions about funding to support positions, personnel. This funding will expire, and the committee is going to be focused on seeing like what kind of impact can be created that will last past the period of funding. So that will be factored in as well. Proposals that result in dollars remaining in a community. So this concept of retail leakage refers to the situation where folks living in a community have to drive outside of their community to purchase necessary goods. So yeah, proposals that can effectively reduce that retail leakage will be looked on favorably as well. Proposals that promote sort of a more comprehensive response to not just hunger, but also local food access and farming and other nutrition issues will be looked on favorably as well. Proposals that are submitted by an underserved, this got a little butchered, honestly, in the rewriting. This originally stated proposals that are submitted by a member of an underserved community, but we had to fine tune it for legal reasons. But yeah, folks that are in their community, they know their community, and they're asking for a request to expand something that is known that their community is in need of and does not have access to. Those will be prioritized as well. And then, of course, a yeah, proposals that, you know, respect natural resources and, you know, give a nod to some environmental stewardship. So those are the priority criteria. So Amanda, we're actually gonna stay on that other slide. And if anyone has any questions about those, we can address those now. So these are good and helpful to think about when framing your mindset around what's eligible, who's eligible, and then what's a priority. You know, there are certain proposals and businesses that might technically be eligible, but are they aligning with the goals of this program? Okay, Jay, go ahead.
Yeah, you just hit on a question I had. Like, I do not understand are served by a member of an underserved area of the state.
Yeah.
That really threw me off.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I don't know, can you like re-explain what that means?
So essentially, if someone is a member of a low-income, low-access community and they own a business there, and they submit a proposal that really reflects what their community wants and needs, that carries more weight than a business that is not part of that community and is doing a guess at what this low-income, low-access community wants and needs, and is requesting equipment or materials or operating expenses that will help them expand what they think this community needs. And so that guarantees a little less success than someone based in that community. Does that help?
So I think so. I mean, I guess like the situation you're thinking of is like somebody owns, a store in Boulder. I don't know. It probably doesn't refer to my community, which is like all low income, low access.
Yeah.
And, so I'm just not going to worry about that. But I had a big question about that piece.
Yeah.
Other little question I have is like, is everyone that is applying for this required to have some type of liability insurance?
Yes.
Okay.
And Amanda, do you think you could flip to I guess it's slide maybe 20? So yeah, I'm glad you brought this up, Jay, because this wasn't on my agenda of things to cover that will be covered, but it is important to focus on, what's going to happen after someone is awarded. The application process is relatively straightforward paperwork wise. They just need to submit an application on the Google form and a budget. But after that proposal is selected for award, they will go through this process of requesting these required documents. So W-9, we'll need an electronic funds transfer form, a certificate of insurance, and then proof for that eligibility piece. So some of this is straightforward. Other parts of it is a little bit cumbersome. For example, to prove that a store, for example, carries at least 3 types of staple foods, we'll need to see an invoice documenting a recent purchase of each of those 3 types of staple foods. So we're saving this paperwork part for after those grantees are selected, but this information is available for folks to view so that they know what will happen if they are selected for an award.
Yeah, and I just bring that up because a farmer asked me today, point blank, do I need to have insurance? Because I assume he doesn't. you know, and that's the thing. It's like, I think these are almost part of the grant requirements, is that you have this stuff, because some people don't file taxes and they don't have insurance, and you know, why waste their time applying if they don't want to do these things? So
Right. So that's why all this is on the website and in this grant guidelines packet. So folks can see that before they decide they want to apply. So yeah, after, you know, after all of those forms are received, a statement of work will be drafted outlining the specific reporting metrics that each business will be held to as part of their proposal, and it'll be specific to the proposal they submit. And then a beneficiary agreement will be signed, and this is the contract. And we are going to bring in our compliance liaison who helped draft this contract to go through it page by page, so folks can be aware. But a draft of that is up on our website and linked here with the QR code. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of hands. Lauren, why don't you go ahead?
Actually, sorry, Lauren, I just want to address the comment in the chat because it's connected to this. And maybe you can just explain the rationale, Mickey, you know, that it's under required documents and not listed under eligibility. So Whitney, you know, it's all in the guide. Yeah. So, you know, this is one of the pages, that's required documents page is in the guide. But you're questioning just why it's not in eligibility requirements.
Yeah, I mean, as a practical matter, so when you're looking at the guide, the eligibility is like pretty close to the beginning. It's like within the first few pages of the guide. Then this required documents doesn't come until way, way towards the end. So if you're with someone and you're just going through the eligibility to review with them, hey, you know, at a quick glance, is this going to work for you? You're not going to know by looking at those pages. And if ultimately, I know that like statutorily, insurance wasn't part of this requirement, but it's as a practical matter, if it has to be, then it might bear sort of mentioning that earlier on so that folks don't get all the way down then to the step where they're pulling together document on document on document, filling out long paragraphs of explanation, and then finally, okay, what other little documents might I need to produce, and then realize that they're not going to be able to apply at the end.
Yeah, that's helpful to bring up now, and you all as outreach contractors can definitely be aware of that. And you know, but would you suggest that we bump that up in yeah, I'd hate for folks to confuse, like, yeah, we don't need that certificate of insurance sent with the application. But yeah, we can totally put it higher up in the in the guide if that's something that you all feel is a priority. Okay.
I'd open that to the rest of the group. I think it would, I assume that it would be helpful, but I haven't done outreach yet, so.
Okay. Well, feel free to, you know, comment on that in the chat, and we'll go to Lauren's question.
Okay, I apologize if this is an ignorant question. I just don't know anything about insurance. What type of insurance are you requiring in the COI?
This is a great question. Amanda, do you have any insight here? This was something I was sort of saving for another day to go over, but since it's coming up here, we can go ahead and address it.
I asked because a farmer did ask Susan the other day.
My sense is that this question is going to be coming up more with farmers than small food retailers, especially store owners, because a lot of farmers are, operate under that name, but maybe they don't, maybe they're a sole proprietor, or they don't submit a Schedule F. So those would be good questions to bring up right off the bat with farmers. And let me just look into more of the specifics around the insurance requirements. It won't be the same as the insurance requirements of all of you, the contractors, because they're not going to be collecting PPI and all that sort of stuff. But we'll get more clarity on that, and we can host a whole meeting on what kind of insurance is required. Does that sound good?
Yeah, and I can just jump in too. I mean, Lauren, with the farm property, so this isn't necessarily coming from like government information, but if you own a farm, you are filing a Schedule F. If you have anyone on your property, you should have basic liability insurance. And so, whether it's people visiting to come pick up food, or an employee, or an intern. And so, that's, I think that level of insurance is what we're looking for. If it's something greater than that, we'll go into more details, but essentially it's, from my understanding, it's all just it's a basic liability. As a business, you have to have basic liability. And I mean, there's not necessarily a dollar amount on that, but there's probably going to be a minimum that will pull up, but it's not going to be an extraordinary amount. And so, I mean, hopefully it's just like a business, if somebody has a retail location, they're going to have a basic form of insurance. But if people are sort of operating as a farm out of their backyard and selling, and trying to get to be more of a viable business, but they haven't filed that Schedule F, they don't have anything other than that they're, doing some direct sales, they're not going to be eligible. They're going to have to get up to speed as an operating business. So I don't know if that helps everyone, but I would consider basic liability. Ask your farmers if they have that, because that is an important part for their safety. I mean, this isn't even like, I mean, it's coming from the state for this grant, but for their safety, having basic liability is important. Okay.
Thanks, Amanda. Lucy, I saw you raised your hand.
Sí, lo que pasa que yo estaba como un poco confundida de saber qué
Yes,
tipo
it's just that I was a bit confused about what type of insurance I needed, because what I had in mind was that if I asked for a certificate of insurance for Hispanics, that's something different. When we talk about insurance, we're saying that the person needs to have Social Security to be able to apply for this. And I just want to make sure that the person does not need a Social Security number to get this grant, or that they do need it.
Entonces, si no lo necesita, pero sí tiene.
No, so if they don't need it, but they do have their the EIN.
Yeah, their business.
And they pay their taxes and all of that.
Yeah, their
even
business
if they
tax ID.
have an ID number that they can apply, correct?
Yes. And that's a great,
Okay, gracias.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a great transition to looking at the application questions. So unless anyone has any other questions about priority proposals, we can spend a lot more time with required documentation, if that's preferred. But Amanda, if you could pull up the tab right next to the It's actually on the other side. There you go. Thank you. Yeah. So these are the application questions that you're able to see on the website. There's a link to it right under the button for applying. You can view the application questions before applying. So I thought we could just kind of breeze through some of these quickly. And yeah, I just wanted to highlight that some of these questions can be answered by looking at these application questions, because you get a sense of, yeah, what's going to be asked and how. So right off the bat, you'll see that the applicant will need to select one of 3 forms to fill out. So the first one is for a small food retail business, like a grocery store, a corner store, a brick and mortar location. The second option is for farmers markets or farm direct operations, like a farm stand or a CSA. And the third choice is for small family farms that are asking for, in their proposal, asking for equipment or operating expenses that will help and expand distribution to a small food retailer in a low income, low access spot. So right off the bat, they'll need to decide which category they fall into. So you'll see that if you want to look at the questions that are just for the farmers, you're going to skip all the way and scroll all the way down to question 73. And I also am realizing that I didn't put a link to this version in Spanish. So there it is. Are you still able to see the share screen?
Sorry, I'm trying to switch it real fast to make it on a different screen. So give me 1 second.
Okay.
I just wanted it to be a little bit clearer.
Okay. But you'll see, first questions are, what's your legal business name? And if you use a DBA, as in doing business as name, you can put that as well. And you'll see that business tax ID is one of the questions on there. So, to Lucy's point, we're not going to be asking for social security number beyond that. So yeah, thanks, Amanda. Okay, you can scroll down. Okay, so each section of the application begins with yes or no, am I eligible? So this is a non-starter. If folks are not able to say yes to everything that's required to be eligible, it unfortunately is not, there's no wiggle room there. We're not able to change the statutory requirements on which business types are eligible. So those are right there at the top. And that includes, for this business type, for the small food retailer, they've got to carry at least 3 out of the 4 eligible or staple foods. So this is super important. And if they're finding that they can't get past those, then it's not worth going on. Feel free to keep going. So the next questions are about, which areas are being targeted with this proposal. And, there are these 3 maps, Marion, that identify the priority areas. And for a brick and mortar store, it's pretty straightforward. Is this business located in a low income, low access area? But for the farm stands, the farmers markets, it's going to be more, is the retail location, we're not so concerned with the headquarters of your farmers market operation. We're we're concerned with where does that retail activity occur. And for farmers, you'll see that this question is specifically asking about which low income, low access areas will benefit from this proposal. Okay. I know we
Sorry.
are, yeah.
Mickey, can I jump in really quick?
Yeah.
So is that a yes or no question, or is it a either way you answer, you need to explain and expand?
So if it's a yes, then it's just yes. If it's a no, then in order to finish the application, that's where you'll need to expand on why this area that is either your business is located in or your business is affecting is actually using local data, a high need location. It's low income, low access. And that's where, you know, these cases will need to be built. But if it's already in an eligible area, no case needs to be built, and you can move on to number 17, which asks for sort of a more narrative description of, okay, so the data shows that you're in a low income, low access area. But yeah, what's the specific need in your neighborhood? What's it like to get to a grocery store if you don't have a car? Yeah, how many options do you have to buy healthy food, and what are the prices like? Is that realistic? So yeah, every applicant will be asked to fill out both those questions, but 16 will be a bit of a bigger response for those that aren't in one of those definitely eligible areas.
Can I ask a question here about?
Yeah, go ahead.
Areas?
I also just I know we only have about 5 minutes left. So yeah, I may want to take your question and then get to a few things before we have to break.
Yeah, I'll make it quick. I just, 2 of my farmers do have retail locations, but what they want to do to expand to a lower income neighborhood is get a truck to deliver. Can that qualify?
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't mean that the people have to come to their store to get the food, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
what they would need to do is talk about which areas they're trying to expand
Great.
to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. They've been thinking about it already. So this is an opportunity for them to get the infrastructure to make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I encourage you to take a look at all of these application questions. I think someone asked if we could break it out into 3 different documents. We did attempt, we can try again if it was a little bit challenging and got a little bit ugly, but yeah, if it's more helpful to have it 3 separate links instead of 1 link with all the questions. We also know that some farmers will be looking at both questions, so we kept it in 1 link, but yeah, if it's more helpful, we can spread it out. So yeah, please take a look at these application questions. Let me know if there are other things coming up. I wanted to make a few announcements here. We got a few questions from you all about, can we have flyers that have a space for our own contact information, not CDA's contact information? Yes, absolutely. One contractor redesigned the flyers so that the contact information led to them, not to us. You're totally welcome to do that. Just, show it to us for approval. Or you can, in my mind, I thought folks could just write their contact information on the flyer or on the back of the flyer. But yeah, let me know your thoughts there if you think we need a little more negative space on the flyer to do that. And then there was, yeah, so many more things here. I know that I've been sending a lot of doodle polls. We have selected our time to go over the best practices guide created by Whitney and the team at Growing Home. So that will be next week, October 18th from 12 to 2. And as time permits, we may get to the invoicing section, but we can also just take extra time and go over questions.
Can you repeat, Mickey, the date, please?
Yes, the date is, and I'll be sending this out to everybody, but it's October 18th. So I believe that's next Wednesday, 1 week from today, from noon to 2, and we will record it for folks that can't make it. I also mentioned this in the information session, but for farmers that are having a hard time wrapping their heads around what a project might look like to expand access, we got a really cool resource from Soulfire Farm that we can send to all of you, and you can share with your farmer potential applicants to see if that helps frame their thinking around this. I also wanted to mention that for farms that are looking to apply for equipment to do SNAP point of sales, there is a company called Market Link that actually offers free. Oh yeah, thanks Amanda for sharing this. So yeah, this is the guide for farmers to take a look at that. And then Market Link will offer free point of sale machines to farmers markets and farm direct operations. So encourage folks to think about that if they're looking for those kinds of things, so they can use this grant opportunity to apply for things that they don't already have and they aren't able to get. So I'll send these 2 links out after the meeting. And yes, so next week we'll meet about best practices for contacting retailers. And then after that, I was hoping we could maybe sort of get in a groove of a regular monthly meeting, so you're not bombarded with all of these doodles. But I want you to know we're ready to meet with way more frequency than once a month as needed. And we're happy to meet one-on-one with each contractor. So yeah, keep an eye out for that regular monthly meeting time scheduler coming soon. I know it's almost 5. Any thoughts, questions, burning things to say?
Mickey, I have a couple of questions for you that may not be relevant to the entire group. Do you have a few minutes to stick around?
Yes.
Right now? Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, thanks again for this meeting, everyone. We can stop recording. And yeah, feel free to hang on if you want to listen to Lauren's question or ask some of your own. But yeah, great to see everybody, and thanks again so much.
Mickey, will you end the recording on that computer?
Yeah, I'm looking for how to do that.